Hello, everyone. Welcome to How to Achieve Work-Life Balance. Let's actually just show our presentation here for you for a minute. So how can you possibly achieve work-life balance in your life? Some of you may have tried and you think it's just impossible. We're here to tell you it's not. We have figured out how to do it, and we'd like to share some of those secrets with you tonight. So tonight, I am honored to have with me my beautiful wife, Darla McCamey, who's a nurse practitioner and a coach. And she's going to be sharing some great tips with you along with me. So let's welcome Darla into the studio. Hi, Darla.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
All right. So we're going to get started here in just a minute. We'll let some other people join in on all our live streams that we are doing so they can see why we're here. And we'll get started right away. So, are you living in alignment with your purpose? Wow, that's a pretty powerful question, isn't it? Have you ever considered that? Are you afraid to consider it, perhaps? Are you really living in alignment or in congruence with what you're supposed to be doing here on this earth? Who you're supposed to be serving? Who you should be helping? Are you really doing that? So ask yourself that question as we go through these slides tonight. And ask yourself also, okay, well, wait a minute, maybe I need to figure out what my purpose is. Who do I want to be? And who do you want to, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Questions like that. You've got to figure out what those things are before you know if you're really living in alignment with that, right? So that probably is one of the first steps. Let's go through some phases or some situations, aspects where people currently find themselves. And let's let Darla tell us about this and see if any of these sound like you.
Thanks, Kevin. Many people over the last couple of years have been under undue stress. And at times in your life, it can be just a short period of time. But then it just seems like this last 2 years, just ongoing, ongoing, ongoing. And so you may find yourself overwhelmed and feeling stressed. Credit card stress, problems can be a big precursor to stress. It can certainly play havoc with you if you're always fighting, trying to find more money in your day. And, stress can come from a flat tire or something breaking at home or a loss of a job, those sorts of things. So there's a time and a place for a credit card, but many people have 15, 20, $25,000 in debt on a credit card, and that can be stressful. So then you can feel with all the stress on your body will just start feeling exhausted and feeling just like no energy. And if you feel like that, please go get a checkup because it can be a sign of something more severe. Stress is the number one cause of any doctor's appointment. So if you're having real fatigue, then you need to go get it checked. So with that, our culture is just fast paced, stress. We are tired, and so we don't feel like cooking dinner. We grab fast food on the way home. If we are cooking dinner, it's pre-made processed food a lot of times because it's faster and quicker. Put a frozen pizza in the oven while you're getting something else done, and bam, you have food for dinner. So when we know this, and it's just, you guys, it's our culture, it's just a byproduct of what's happening. And so 1 in 3 people are either overweight and or obese in America. And obesity is another cause of stress, which is another cause of money problems because they have more health issues. So if you're feeling me, all of this is going around, then you get exhausted. So keep going. And with that, we have trouble sleeping. Maybe you have indigestion. Those of you who have been eating some processed food and all of that, maybe it's stress. Maybe it's acid reflux and keeping you up. Maybe you just haven't gotten your day finished and it's still all going in your mind and you just can't sleep. Some people have trouble falling asleep, and some people wake up during the night and have trouble returning to sleep. So we have some new interesting supplements and products that we can help with. And Kevin has an Aura ring that he's tracking his sleep. So they're coming out with so many more things these days because 70 million Americans don't sleep. I will be happy when we're coaching to pass on everything I do because it's important to get your sleep. So you're not alone if this is you. Rocky relationships are really one of the real struggles in life, aren't they? Are you struggling with your relationship or maybe just like going day to day with your relationship and it's not really thriving? That happens. You're not alone there either. With the money stress, with people not liking their job that they're going to, sitting in traffic, not having healthy sleep, it can all play with your relationship struggles as well. Mood swings. I'm a women's health nurse practitioner, so I get it. I get it. But it is totally normal to be happy in a day, be frustrated in a day, be mad at traffic in a day, be sad in a day, be hopeful in a day. But there's all the emotions that are normal, so please don't think that mood swing part is you. Mood swings we're talking about here are when they're disruptive to your relationships or when disruptive to your work. And they're really interfering with your work life balance on your day to day. Again, mood swings and all the stress of life can make you really feel anxious that it looks like there's no end, right? And you just don't have all the answers. And sometimes that can be a real struggle. So, whether you're the breadwinner in the family or the caregiver in the family, it's all there. And you can tend to sit and stew over all your problems, or you can look for a way out. We're here to help you find a way out, live differently. Lack of purpose or identity comes along when maybe you just graduated and now it's the season to have a new job. That's exciting, but it's still like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? Some people are off to college, some people off to new jobs. Some of you may be retiring and finding yourself saying, what do I do now? And if you've been a homemaker and your kids go off to college, it's kind of fun to be empty nester, but at the same time, it's an adjustment. It's like I was a mom and I was a homemaker. Now what do I do? You still manage your home, but like you have all this time because you don't have the kids at home. So like, who am I? What am I? Who am I serving? Um, it's normal to have these seasons in your life and go through this. So it's just not okay to stay there. And most of us have a voice in our head, not like hearing voices, but a voice in our head that's us talking to ourselves. And usually it's negative. You're not smart enough. You're not tall enough. You're not short enough. You're not whatever enough, right? So if you hear those voices, that's common. We can teach you how to overcome them. But if you're having them too much in a day, or it's really blocking you from living, then that's when it's a struggle. And Many people struggle with their past traumas. You can be happy and cooking dinner or driving down the street or going shopping with a friend, and all of a sudden something triggers you, and you can have a past event just bother you and again back you up in your day and keep you from living in the present and living in planning your future. So if you're getting stuck with past traumas, we can help you. So know that you're not alone in that. A lot of people struggle with that as well.
Thanks so much, Darla. So we get it. Matter of fact, I get it specifically. I've been there. I was overweight. I had diabetes, I was diagnosed with. And I didn't want to be on medication, but I was for years. And I would snooze my alarm every morning and not get up and not go out and exercise because I thought I didn't have time. My identity was all tied up in what I did for a career and not me, Kevin the person, Kevin the husband, Kevin the father. And I was not serving in those other areas like I should have been, and not serving myself either, because I was traveling over the country, just way too busy, spending way too many hours a week, and exhausted because I was overweight, not ambitious, and my identity was all tied up in the wrong place. And so I had to come to grips with that and figure something out. So imagine what it could be like now. Maybe you've identified with one of these, but imagine what it could be like in this next section that Darla shares with you.
Kevin used to feel like that, and now he doesn't anymore. Imagine your life with enjoying your family and your work. What would that feel like? Imagine having the energy for the life that you desire. What would that feel like? Imagine feeling great in your clothes. Imagine waking up from a good night's sleep. How would that change your day? Imagine really having loving, caring, respectful relationships. How would that change your day? Imagine just having a sense of peace and well-being. Imagine living your purpose. It feels really good, I'll tell you. Imagine carrying yourself with confidence. What would that do if your shoulders went back and you stood up straight and you felt like you had more confidence for your work and your family and your life? How would that feel? Imagine being able to accept yourself with all the stuff in the back in the past and just falling in love with you. How would that feel? Imagine looking forward to your future. Yeah, that would be exciting, wouldn't it?
So, wouldn't that be exciting if you could just have some of those things? Maybe not all of them, but what if you could just have some of them? Maybe, what if you could just have one of those things? Some of you might be so excited you would just not know what to do if you could have had one of those things that Tarla just talked about. So again, we're here to talk about work-life balance. And really, work-life balance is kind of dividing it in two, where it's really spread off across several different aspects of your life. For instance, work, your finances, your family relationships, having fun and having recreation time, having a mindset a positive attitude or a spiritual center, having a community of friends that you can actually rely on that encourage you. And like I needed some more health. I needed to be healthy, and not just in my physical body, but in my mental status also. So, how can you achieve this work life balance? You see this person in the middle up there at the top juggling all these things. And so many times that's what we feel like, right? That's what I used to feel like. I had all of these activities that I wanted to do, and I was just juggling them all, but I didn't feel like I was really in the flow of any of them. I was just doing them and checking off the box. And that's not a way to live your life, let me tell you. So, when we look at work life balance, what are some things that we can actually do here?
So, how much do you love what you do? Think about that one.
Are you really in alignment with your purpose? Remember that question?
Do you earn more than you spend? There's Most people in America have less than $3,000 in savings. When you're with your family, your loved ones, your relationships, are you intentional and do you connect with them? Mm.
So important.
How are you honoring your body? I know this lady's like strong and fit, and she's proud of it though. She's got her confidence going, right? But if you're not healthy and fit right now, what can you do? How can you honor your body? So we all can understand the difference between an apple and a candy bar, maybe which one is a good choice. You can also maybe understand a chicken salad versus maybe um, a burger and fries. Maybe you can see the difference there. But what are you putting in your mind? Are you listening to things? Are you playing games? Are you watching things that are negative or full of hate and discontent? Or are you filling your mind with healthy things? So think about that too. It's all about your whole mind, body, spirit. And then how often do you take time to have fun and rejuvenate? There's how many of you, come on, how many of you have saved up all your vacation time and rolled it over even for another year? It's really important to take time to play. In Europe, there's a lot of countries that have mandatory vacation time, like you have to go because they know that you'll get rejuvenated and you'll be sharper when you do return to work. So make sure you play and have fun. Here's a good one. We are usually get to choose our friends, right? And so it's interesting to me how many people have friends that are not healthy for them. So think about this and think about the close circle that you have or the people that you pick up the phone to text or tell a funny story to or tell them your dreams and your aspirations. Are they saying, "Oh, you'll never do that. You're not strong enough, tall enough, short enough. That's not going to happen. You should just keep your day job. You shouldn't do all that. Should. Do you have people telling you what you should do? Hmm. So, who's in your friend circle? And if you tell someone your dream, do they go, "Wow, that is so cool. What are you going to do first? How can we help?" Hmm. There's some people to put in the front seat of your life, right? And then, is your heart full of love for you and for others? Man, if you just have that center when you start seeing people through your heart instead of through your eyes, they won't get on your nerves anymore. So how are you grounded? Are you meditating? Are you praying? Reading spiritual books or praying every day? What grounds you? That's important. So these areas of life, these areas can be different areas too, if you want to break it down to more specifics. But work-life balance isn't exactly like 20 minutes of this, 20 minutes of each section of this. It's more like being intentional and living in those moments and making sure that you take care of you. And we'll get into that a little bit more too. But since we've gone through these little areas, how do you think you would rate yourself in these areas? Do you think you would be like good in one area and maybe you need some help in another? Like Kevin was saying, he maybe needed a little more help with health, but he really figured out he needed more friends and more fun. And when you get more friends and more fun, your health gets better generally if you're on a healthy journey, because we chose to have friends that are in this arena, if you will, of self development and um, like looking forward and having a better life and living differently. And so, where would you rate yourself in these areas?
So, what can you really do? Now, you've heard all this information. What can you do about it? Well, here's some tips that we came up with that we'd like to share with you of things that we did that really worked for us and helped us to have success in our careers and in our relationships. We started practicing daily gratitude. And you see someone here writing in a journal. I started journaling a few years ago, and I can tell you that it made all the difference in the world to me to get out my thoughts and feelings on paper and not just have them swimming around up there in a swarm of who knows what. And I wasn't really clear on them. But when I started writing them down, I became much clearer. And when I started practicing gratitude and being grateful for the things and the people that were in my life, that made all the difference in the world. I started taking time to invest time with my wife and have conversations with her and actually try to understand what she was saying to me. When I was traveling all across the country, I didn't have the time to do that a lot of times. I was away. And I needed to stop that. I needed to come home and actually talk to her and listen to her and understand what she was trying to say to me. Because when you can understand your loved one's feelings, that helps them feel important. And when you really understand what they're saying, then you're ready to respond with how you're feeling and you can be honest with each other. You also at work want to make sure you know the necessary skills, that you're learning the skills so you can complete your projects. If you're being assigned things at work, well, you need to get those done, or you're going to have to find another job, right? So be sure that you're learning the skills you need in your family life and in your work life.
You're so
Another
right.
thing to do
Oh, go
is to
ahead.
be present during family time. Did I interrupt you, Darla? Were you going to talk about this one? I
It's
think you
okay.
were, and I apologize.
It's okay.
Go
Lifelong
ahead.
learning is a good thing.
That's
Uh,
right. See, I'm talking already over, I'm supposed to be listening. Go ahead, Darla.
that was the lesson on this one already. So there. Um, so when you are with your family, put your phone down. Have a family dinner without devices. Have have a block time either once a day or several times a week where it's device free time and we get to actually talk to each other. And it's like, what's the best part of your day? Oh, what happened in your day? A lot of times kids will just say, it was fine. I don't know. I don't remember. What'd you have for lunch? I don't know. But when you start really talking to them, like, was there something hard in your day that you struggled with? Tell me about it. It's okay. I want to hear. Then they'll start really talking to you. Well, what was funny today? Did you laugh today? What was funny today? Did you hear a new joke? Maybe just start giving them prompts instead of just a blatant, how was your day? Sometimes people really need to know that you're listening and you care. And same for your loved one and your spouse. It's important to just be present. And then when you're at work, don't be on your phone all the time looking at other stuff. Zone in and get your work done, because the whole multitasking thing is not productive. And if you go through your day and you just come home and you just think, oh, busy, 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 here's a mindset trick for you. Ready? Be productive. So you can be busy in your day, but when you say, in this next hour, this is what I'm going to focus on and I'm going to get this done, then you'll be productive. But when you come home, guess what? Instead of being tired and, I was busy all day, you'll be like, oh, it's productive. I had a good day. You see the difference? Try it.
Right. And like I was saying before, when you are communicating with your family, with your kids, with your wife, with your husband, make sure that you're able to communicate honestly. When you understand each other, that's kind of the first step. And then when you understand each other, you can actually be totally honest in your relationships and tell the truth. You don't need to hide things, because you know that you have each other's back, that you're not trying to be critical. You're trying to build the other person up, and you're always working on doing that. And then make sure you're living in alignment with your values. So, like we talked, are you living in alignment with your purpose? What are your values? Honesty, trustworthiness, right? Those things that are so important to us. We don't want people lying to us. So, at work, make sure you're living in alignment with your values there. If you're being asked to do something at work that you feel is illegal or is the improper thing to do, what should you do? Ask yourself a question. Are you living in alignment with your values? Are you able to honestly speak up and state what your values are and get everyone back on the right path?
And be a leader. Being a leader with your family is so important. Your kids see what you do. They mimic you. They're little parrots. So if you want to lead, be a leader at home also, not just at work. And when you are serving your family and in tune to your family, like we've been talking, then you can be a better positive mentor for them. Even for your loved one, whether it's your wife, husband, lover, whatever, when you are able to be positive and serve them with your heart and be meaningful, that is where you're going to have your connection. And you're going to feel good about your time with them. And then when you're at work, be a great leader. When you're focused and you're getting your work done and you're productive, you're going to achieve outstanding results and you're going to feel good about it and you can celebrate it. So
Exactly.
it's a whole bit different than just being busy all the time.
So, one of the things that I did, like Darla said, I needed some more fun and some more friends, a bigger community. And so, luckily, what I actually found was I found communities online and in person that I could really relate with people. And I started adding more friends, not just acquaintances, but real friends that I could be honest with and that they would support me and I could support them and encourage them. And it has made so much of a difference. And my life is so much better because I have these people around me and I have this power of a community that supports me now.
It's so important. People have been working from home, and for some of you, it's good, and others, you might be missing that water cooler talk. So you may need some balance there. And then speaking for women particularly, caring for yourself is a necessary part to be able to care for others. Men also, but women really tend to put themselves last on the care list. And so you have to fill your cup. And that is the only way that you're going to be able to give back. Maybe it's my years of nursing or what have you, but taking care of you is not being selfish.
Right. And one of the things I had to do for me is I had to start eating differently.
Mhm.
70% of losing weight is what you put in your body. Imagine that. If you eat 2,000 calories and you only exercise to burn 100, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be overweight like I was. So it's a math problem, right? We have to figure out what are the right foods that'll actually give me energy and fuel. And then get out there. I had to get out there and move my body and exercise and walk and do core workouts and all those things and start drinking water instead of 7 sodas a day and a pot of coffee a day. That's ridiculous to do things like that to your body. It's not good for you. And I had to change my eating, my workouts, what I was drinking, and I also had to get more sleep. And so I even track my sleep now to make sure I'm getting adequate sleep every night.
And then I mentioned this earlier. If you have a morning routine, some of you may have quiet time in the morning. If you don't, set your alarm for a half an hour earlier. I know it's hard, but go to bed a little earlier, set your alarm a little earlier, get some daily routines where you practice some quiet time, meditation. That will really help center you so that you can plan for your day. If you are single and maybe working from home, it's nice to have a pet that you can care for because you get to go for a walk or you get to get up and take care of someone. And they cuddle, Pepper cuddles with me all day long when I'm at home. And it's just fun. And when Kevin's home working all day, he's not alone. Pepper's here. So
That's
it's
right.
important, I think, to have a pet, if you will. And then have fun and laugh more, get a community, have some friends. It's important. Mm.
Right. So now that you've seen all these things that you can do, that we did, that work for us, who do you want to be? It's coming back to this. What do you want to do? And where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Who would you be 3 years from now, for instance? Would you be setting goals and your intention every day, like Darla talked about? Having a morning routine to get up and work out a certain number of days a week, to meditate or pray, and set a goal to do that? Maybe you need some new goals in your career. There are a lot of companies right now that are looking for more productive employees. And maybe they're waiting for you to raise your hand and say, hey, that's me. I want to do that. And you need to set some goals in your career. Or maybe figuring out how to deal with the money you are earning and making sure you're saving some for the future. Or like me, you're sitting down and you're figuring out, I need to focus on my relationships. I need to be present with my family. Or your health journey has taken you to the wrong place and you need to reverse that and get back in to gear and working out and eating the right foods like we talked about. Where do you need to balance your life? Remember the scoring sheet? Maybe you might want to take a little questionnaire and find out what areas do I really need to repair in my life so it is more balanced.
And, we tried to do it ourselves. And then pretty soon it's New Year's again. And pretty soon a whole nother year has gone by, or 3 or 6 months has gone by, and you're still in the same place. You still, everything's the same. And so if you try it on your own and you don't quite get there, that's when we got coaching. We said, okay, we've sort of tried this on our own. We sort of tried for a little while, let's be honest, right? We didn't like go for a year with a new lifestyle. We went for a couple weeks at a time with trying stuff, and it didn't work, and we fall back into routine. So if you've already tried to make changes and you're still in the same place, then it's probably a good idea to look into this.
It's a great idea to look into it. That's exactly what we did, Darla. And this is what happened. We got clarity on where and who we wanted to be and where we wanted to go. We started getting a vision. It was a little blurry at first, but we started getting a vision. And the closer we got, we found out we had an identity that who we really wanted to be. And we uncovered our purpose. And we finally decided to start taking action on that purpose and start living our life that way. We got surrounded by a community who encouraged us, and we found accountability there. And we started experiencing breakthroughs. I literally lost 25 pounds, got off diabetes medication over a year's time because of the coaching and the work that I was doing and the community that we were involved with. And since then, we've started a new business, we've got new careers, and we are flourishing with confidence, and we have achievement. And you can do the same thing. We want to teach you how we did that so that you can do it. We're not here just trying to tell you that it's great because we did. We want you to be a part of that too and to experience it for yourself.
Are you ready? Get ready. Y'all, you could have a life of purpose and passion. It's simple steps. You just need a little guidance. You need a guide.
Exactly. So, what's your next step now? You can actually schedule a complimentary discovery session with one of us. We'll put links in the chat of these social media posts that we've made where we're doing the live feed. And you can click on there and you can schedule a complimentary session with us where we will walk you through and help you design a blueprint for your life that will really work for you. So we hope that when you decide to integrate work-life balance in your life, we want you to know we're here to help you succeed.
Come on, don't be shy.
That's right. We'll talk to all of you the next time. Have a great day.